Hi everyone. Welcome. The new episode of Peter's English Podcast has been started. I'm your host Peter, and let's start with the slogan. I'm glad to see you again. I mean, no audience. Learn English, be successful, change your life, open a lot of doors, create your own podcast, write your own novel. You don't need to be talented because learning English is for everyone. Don't worry, people. No vomiting today because my lunch was great, was very yummy, hummy, and so on. And this is picture in picture mode episode where I want to chat with study and learn mode of Microsoft Copilot because this is the most popular format of my Peter's English podcast. It's called Learn English with Peter. And in this episode, I want to learn about wood for past habits. This English grammar I saw yesterday when I could choose it. Where, where I was talking with Microsoft Copilot about the topic for yesterday's English grammar, and today's English grammar is clear. Let's, Peter, shut up and let's start. Okay, we can start really. We have to have activate study and learn mode. We can start. Okay, we have to wait. Okay. Okay, we can start. F5. We can start. Great. Let's begin our study and learn mode session on wood for past habits. Yes, people. As I said, as I said before, in this PIP episode, I want to learn English. Which we study learn mode of Microsoft Copilot about wood for past habits. I'll guide you step by step, one idea at a time, and you'll think with me. Step 1. The key idea. Would is used to talk about repeated actions in the past. Things you did many times but you don't do no. But before we go deeper, I want to check something with you. Question 1. When you hear past habits, what do you think? What do you think it means? For example, something you did every day, something you did every week, something you did many times in the past. Tell me in your own words. Then we continue. Aha. Would is used to talk about repeated actions in the past, things you did many times, but you don't do now. Aha, you don't do now. Okay. It's about something I did in the past. Okay, let's continue. Okay, people, it's the end of the week. Let's yawn now, but we can continue. F5. It's about something I did in the past. Perfect, Peter. That's exactly the idea we need for the next step. You said, it's about something I did in the past. Yes, that's the heart of it. Now let's build on that slowly, one small step at a time. Step 2. Add one more detail. We use would for past habits. We only use it for repeated actions, things you did many times, not one-time events. So here's your next thinking question. Question 2. Which of these sentences describes a repeated past habits? A. When I was a child, I would play outside every day. Last year, I broke my phone. A. Of course, A is the right answer. What else? Okay. We cannot continue. A. Exactly, Peter. A is the correct answer. You're thinking in the right direction. Let's build the next small step together. Step 3. The pattern of would for past habits. When we talk about repeated actions in the past, the structure is subject plus would plus base verb. Examples: don't memorize, just feel the pattern. When I was younger, I would play outside. Every summer, we would visit my grandparents. Back then, Peter would drink coffee every morning. Notice something important. No to after would. No, no to after would. No ing. No past tense verb. Just would plus verb. But before we continue, I want to check your understanding. Question 3. Which sentence use would correctly for a past habit? When I was a child, I would to watch. No, B of course. It's easy. B of course. Okay, we can continue. B. Exactly, Peter. B is correct. You're really getting the pattern now. Let's keep building this slowly, one clear idea at a time. Step 4. One more important detail. We use we use would for past habits only when the time period is clear from context. From example, when I was a teenager, I would play video games every night. Every summer we would go to the lake. Back in the London, where I would drink tea at midnight. There is always a time reference. Now I want to check your understanding again. Question 4. Which sentence needs a time reference to be correct? When I lived in London, I would walk to work. I would walk to work. Walk. No, no. A is correct. Of course. This is easy. Isn't it, people? Okay, that's a wait. It was long week. Yes, it was. But don't worry, people. Tomorrow is Friday. Yes. When you have free weekend, oh, everything is okay. Let's continue. A. Great Wiki Peter. A is the one that already has a time reference, so B is the one that needs it. But your answer shows you understand the idea. Would needs a clear time period to make sense. You're doing really well, so let's build the next small step. Step 5. Compare used to and would. Both used to and would talk about past habits. But there is one important difference. Would is only for repeated actions. Used to is for repeated actions and past states. Let's keep it simple for now. Here's your next thinking question. Which sentence is not possible with would? When I was a child, I would play football every day. I used to live in London. A. Is aha. Which sentence is not possible with B? Okay, it was the right answer. 5. B. Exactly, Peter. B is the correct answer. And your choice shows you understand the key difference beautifully. Let's slow down and look at why. I used to live in London. This is a state where you lived. We cannot use would for states. I would play football every day. This is an action repeated many times. We can use would here. You're building a very strong foundation. Step 6. Your turn to try one. Now let's create your own example. We'll do it step by step. Think of something you did many times in the past, but you don't do now. For example, a hobby, a routine, something from childhood, something from school, something for your old job, something for your teenage years. Question 6. Can you write one simple sentence using would for past habits? Aha. When I was younger, I played with the toys. Why not? Oh, I forgot something. Yes, of course, I forgot something. Perfect. When I was younger, I played with the toys. Nice, Peter. That's a good past habit idea, but now let's gently shape it into the correct wood structure. Remember, we're building this step by step. Your sentence. When I was younger, I played with the toys. This is correct English, but it uses past simple, not would. Let's transform it together. Step 7. Transform your sentence. To use would, we need a time reference, would plus base verb, something repeated many times. So your sentence become, when I was younger, I would play with toys. Yes, of course. Notice the before toys would play, not played. But before we continue, I want you to do the next step. Can you write one more sentence using would for a repeated action in your past? Yes, of course. When I was younger, I would play computer games. Now is everything correct, I think. Okay, 5. When I was younger, I would play computer games. Beautiful, Peter. That sentence is exactly right. We use the structure perfectly. When I was younger, I would play computer games. Clear time reference, repeated action, correct grammar, natural English. You're doing great, so let's build the next small step. Step 8. Add a little detail. Now that you can make a basic sentence, let's gently expand it. When we talk about past habits, we can add how often, where, with whom, what kind of games, when in the day. But we keep it possible. Here is your next thinking task. Can you add one small detail into your sentence? For example, when I was younger, I would play computer games every evening. Aha. When I was younger, I would play computer games every night. Why not? Okay, we can continue. When I was younger, I would play computer games every night. Perfect, Peter. That sentence is excellent. You used the structure naturally and correctly. When I was younger, I would play computer games every night. That's exactly how a native speaker would say it. You mastered the basic pattern, so now we can move to the next small step. Step 9. Check your understanding. Before we continue, I want to make sure the idea is fully clear in your mind. Here's a quick thinking question. Question 9. Which sentence describe a past habit using would? When I lived in London, I would walk to work every morning. Yesterday, I would go to the shop. Mhm. Yes, of course, A. Think about the time reference. One is repeated, one is single ever. Yes, A. Okay. Everyone yawning at me is the part of the learning English, the yawning. Let's continue. A. Exactly, Peter. A is the correct answer. You're choosing the right option every time, and that shows you really understand how would works for past habits. Let's keep going step by step. Step 10. One more small challenge. Now that you can recognize correct sentences, let's try something a little more active. Here are two sentences. Only one of them is correct for a past habit using would. Which sentence is correct? When I was the younger, I would be no. When I was a teenager, I would listen to rock music. Think about would plus base verb, no continuous form, repeated action. No, B. Of course, B. Okay, F5. B. Exactly, Peter. B is correct again. You're choosing the right answer every day and every time and every day too. And that shows you really understand how would work for repeated past actions. You're ready for the next small step. Step 11. Create a contrast. Now let's practice choosing between used to and would. Would, repeated actions. Used to, repeated actions and past states. Here's your next thinking task. Question 11. Which sentence is better with used to dot would? Uh, I used to have, yes, A is used to be, no, used to be would. Oh, wait a minute. We are, uh-huh. I'll be streaming for 60 minutes. Okay, let's continue. B. Exactly, Peter. B is correct again. You're choosing the right answer every time, and that shows you really understand how would works for repeated past actions. Are you ready for the next small step? I think it's the time for. Uh, yes, it's time for the fairy tale. Yes. Bedtime story about repeated actions. I mean, about wood for past habits. Yes, it will be beautiful. AI generated bedtime story generated by Microsoft Copilot. Let's start. Write 500 words story inspired by my novel, Virat Vampire Diary. Use a lot of funny dialogues and use today's English grammar. Mr. Flap Flap again. It'll be fun. Okay, we have to wait for the story. We have to wait for the story. Okay, the story is here. F5. It doesn't work. Ah, it's here. The story is here. Perfect. Okay, can you see it? Yes, you can. I've been streaming for 18 minutes. It's the right time for the story, and Bob's your uncle. Let's start. A funny story. Now you can learn English thanks to funny story generated by Microsoft Copilot. Let's start. Write 500 word story inspired by my novel Virat Vampire Diary. Use a lot of funny dialogues and use today's English grammar. Use Mr. Flap Flap. Yes, you know who is Mr. Flap Flap. Is a character created by Microsoft Copilot. It's a flying, speaking bat. It will be fun. Peter, this is perfect. A 5 word, wild, chaotic, funny story in the style of Vera the Vampire Girl's Diary, featuring Mr. Flap Flap using today's grammar topic, wood for past habits, woven naturally into the dialogue. No personal life jokes, no work jokes, no cat jokes, only your fictional universe. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. I hope so. Vera the Vampire Girl's Diary, The Night of Mr. Flap Flap Smelled Out. Approximate 500 words. Dear Diary, tonight started like every normal night in London, which means absolutely nothing was normal. I was sitting on the roof of our flat, drinking my midnight tea as I would do every night when I wanted to feel dramatic, when suddenly I heard a furious flapping sound behind me. Vera! Vera! Emergency! Screamed Mr. Flap Flap, my personal bed assistant, emotional support creature, and part-time house generator. I sighed. What now? Did you eat too many glowworms again? No worse, he squeaked. Peter is practicing English grammar. I blinked. That's not an emergency. For you, maybe, he shouted. And he keeps saying wood every 5 seconds. He sounds like a broken vampire jukebox. At that moment, Peter burst onto the room holding a notebook. Vera, listen! When I was younger, I would play computer games every night. Mr. Flap Flap fainted dramatically. I clapped. Very good, Peter. That's exactly how you use wood for past habits. Peter grinned proudly. When I lived in Slovakia, I would drink tea every morning. Mr. Flap Flap woke up, screamed, and fainted again. Why is he like this? Peter asked. He is allergic to correct grammar, I said. It confuses him. Suddenly the bed jumped up. I am not allergic. I am simply emotionally overwhelmed by academic excellence. Peter laughed. When I was a teenager, I would watch Futurama every night. Mr. Flap Flap, stop! I can't take this level of fluency. He flew in circles like a malfunctioning drone. I rolled my eyes. Calm down, Flapster. Peter is just practicing. Practicing? Practicing! The bat shrieked. Do you know what he used to do? He used to say, will instead of would. I miss those days. Peter crossed his arms. When I was younger, I would ignore grammar completely. Mr. Flap Flap gasped. He's unstoppable. I stood up dramatically. Peter, you're doing great. But now we must test your skills with the ultimate challenge. Peter gulped. What challenge? I pointed at Mr. Flap Flap. Describe his past habits. Peter thought for a moment. Then he said, when Mr. Flap Flap was younger, he would scream every time he saw his own shadow. That's true, the bat admitted. And he would steal cookies from the kitchen. That is also true. And he would pretend to be a tiny vampire superhero. Mr. Flap Flap puffed up proudly. I still do that. Peter smiled. See, grammar is fun. The bat groaned. Fun for you. I need therapy. I closed my diary. Another successful night. Peter mastered wood. Mr. Flap Flap survived. And London remains chaotic. Just how I like it. End of entry. Okay, people, that's it for today. I have enough of this funny story. I want to wait for 25 minutes and I want to ramble for 2 minutes. It will be 2-minute ramble episode now a little in this peep, but don't worry, it's peep, 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 picture in picture mode episode. And okay, Peter and people, I want to tell you something. Please follow me everywhere. Read my novel, Virat Vampire Koderi. You can find it on my website. That's petersenglishpodcast.com. Peter, don't move. And now, okay, you can how often you want. And tomorrow is the publish day of Peter English Podcast. Tomorrow I want to publish. Tomorrow I want to publish 8 episodes from the last 14 days. Yes, I want to publish it everywhere. You can looking forward to it right now. You can follow me, write positive comments, and that's it. I want to practice picture in picture mode episode for 25 minutes and end this live stream. And what and I want to do end for 20 seconds. No, I don't want. Don't worry, don't escape right now. You can escape after the end of the live stream and you can start your life. During my live stream you had to stop your life and do nothing and simply watch The whole planet Earth has to watch me. Okay, you don't need to watch me. Okay, people, that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for visiting, my website. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And follow me everywhere. Write positive comments. And I want to tell you bye-bye.